welcome to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him at gods5minutes@gmail.com. Now, here's Ed Wilson with God's 5 Minutes.
Hello, friends. The caption of the 7th Psalm tells us it is a Shiggaion of David when he sang unto the Lord concerning the words of Cush the Benjamite. Shiggaion in the Hebrew means a song written with great passion. Cush was among those at Saul's court who toadied up to the madman king. Both Cush and Saul were of the tribe of Benjamin. Maybe that's why. Cush is supposed to have approached David with smooth words and the mannerisms of friendliness, but with a devious purpose of garnering information about David's whereabouts and plans in order that they may use this inside knowledge to betray the young prince and thereby win favor with Saul. The Psalm 17 verses long, but today let's look at a couple. If I have rewarded evil unto him that was at peace with me, yea, I have delivered him that without cause is mine enemy. Let the enemy persecute my soul and take it. Yea, let him tread down my life upon the earth and lay mine honor in the dust. These are the 4th and 5th verses of the Psalm. There's no evidence David was a traitor, either to Saul or the Israelite nation. He couldn't help that God had sent Samuel to anoint him as the next king. What he had done was to scrupulously protect Saul's reputation and even his life, befriend Saul's son Jonathan, and marry Saul's daughter. He did not plan against the sitting king to steal away his throne. But jealousy does not look at rivals, real or imagined, with clear-seeing vision. Saul reigned and did what he wanted a full 40 years, and his death came at the hands of the Philistines through events having nothing to do with David. But he never mastered his inner demons enough to see that he was, in fact, his own worst enemy. And so his ears were keen to hear lies and slanders against any potential rivals, especially God's anointed. One of the lessons of these verses is that no degree of innocence can shield a saint from the calumnies of the wicked. Envy pursues goodness. Satan hates good and always tries to wrap it in malicious cloaks of lies. The only place where we can be sure of being safe from slander is in heaven. Sinners, who are all too often Satan's tools, reflect his ill will toward the righteous, and ill will never speaks good of anyone. Clever, ruthless people are often very skillful in stirring dark passions with their malicious tales. The old saying has it that a lie can race around the world while the truth is still putting on its boots. If you and I are to be effective in life, we have to learn to do our work without being distracted by the vicious half-truths and untruths spoken against us. We must also learn to be skeptical of the cloud of swirling rumors that always harass gracious people. Another lesson comes from David's obviously painful passion in this persecution, which is quite understandable. Having our well-intentioned deeds and words distorted and used against us is destabilizing and disorienting, makes us question ourselves and want to try to justify ourselves to those who are trying to hurt us with things we know so obviously aren't true. Justifying ourselves to others who hate us doesn't work. Enemies only find grounds for fresh accusations in the words and gestures we make to offer peace. So David turned to the only place he could, to the great God above, who alone knew his heart as well as everything he had done and the motives behind it. And his words, spoken in prayer to the one in whom he deeply believed, whom he knew to be absolutely just and holy, are the very picture of innocence. He performed what the Jews knew as the oath of clearance. He invited God to examine his situation and exact a divine penalty if he was in any way guilty of Cush's accusations. These words from devout lips are the ultimate proof of innocence. Cush meant to lay David's honor in the dust, but while Cush's name has become dust, David has lasted for centuries as the friend of God, sullied by no hand but his own. If we live as Christ commanded, we too can commend our honor to his care. Have you talked to him today?
You have been listening to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him by email at godsfiveminutes@gmail.com. Tune in next time to hear more encouraging thoughts from God's Word on God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson.